Okay, so I just recorded this video and I have to do it again because the fucking sound wasn't working and all right, that's okay. Today is July 10th, 2024, and I decided to bring you behind the scenes and show you how I'm using this projects feature in Claude. And I wanted to walk you through this AI co-writing process real quick and the AI briefs process and show you how you can set up your own to streamline your writing process. I'm pretty sure you have to be on the paid program or the paid plan, the professional plan they call it of Claude to be able to use projects, but I don't know because projects is still a pretty new feature, but it's been pretty helpful. So I'll show you how to create one now. You can just go to the project, call it new. Okay, something like this. Create the project, and what a project basically does is it groups the chats. So instead of doing individual chat streams and having to either summarize them or find another way to integrate them, you can just go into this project and it automatically puts everything together. So it can pull information from all the chat streams, which is way more efficient and makes using it a lot more helpful. Here you can set custom instructions telling you can tell it how you want it to behave, and I'll show you the one I have for Gates of Okinawa in a second. And then add content is you can add your outline, you can add character bios, notes, world building, whatever you want, and it will pull from that. And then you can just start chatting and doing different. I usually break it up into different chapters for writing. So I'll go to Gates of Okinawa and show you. So you can see I've got all 69, now 70 chapters. It's a pretty big file, and I don't know what the limit is, but it's getting up there. And in the custom instructions, I've got this. You're just a fiction writing assistant, and then I give it, hey, this is how we're going to do AI co-writing. I could give it more instructions, but I like to keep it more flexible because I don't want it to be stuck in a certain mode. And then, like I said, you can add content, and I've added all the chapters. And then you can see the different chat streams. These are all different chat streams that I've done for different chapters over the last few weeks. So here's the one that I did for this morning. And as you can see, I usually start out with a prompt, something like this, telling it what I'm trying to write. I give it the main characters. I tell it how I'm going to do the writing method. Either I'm going to do AI briefs, which is the brief, and I've described this before, but I'll tell you briefly. The AI brief is just me basically directing the AI what I want to happen in that particular chapter, and then I give it to the AI and it writes the whole chapter. Co-writing is I write, the AI writes, the AI writes, I write, that type of thing, and we kind of feed off of each other to see where the story goes. But whenever you're working with AI, having some type of bulleted thing like this is very helpful because the AI is just super open-ended, and even in a project, it's pulling from your entire project, so it doesn't know where to focus. By doing this, it has a clear start and end point, and then all it has to do is connect the dots, and you're gonna get at least a complete chapter. We're not talking about style here. That's gonna be dependent on you to make it yours. And well, what am I saying? It is yours. I mean, you're writing this whole thing, but if you want it to be presented in a certain way, then you have to go back and rework that. But this is a good way to start. And so I ask it, "Are you ready?" And then we start. And I usually, the way I do it is I have my manuscript open and I'll type over here because typing within the AI window, it goes on enter. And so if you press it, then it automatically feeds it, and then you're kind of stuck. So I like this to have more of the flexibility. Oh, that's actually my notes. This is my manuscript. So I wrote this to start the chapter, and then you can see I brought that over here to the AI, and then the AI produced this. And Spirit Service was something that I'd mentioned in a previous chapter, and it just, the way the projects work, it just saves time because I don't really remember what chapter Spirit Service, and this was a huge problem when I was writing my first novel pre-AI, is after you get so deep into the story, you forget certain details like, well, what did they call this, or what was that person's name, or when did they die, or what was this backstory element. Those little things matter as you get closer to the end, especially when you're trying to wrap up plot threads and things like that. And having this project to be able to just go in and find it was really helpful. And so that brought that in. There's still this AIism, mind raced, which I don't like at all. But I think for the most part, this is a good output. And you can see this was an experimental prompt right here, to where I wrote this, but then I said, this is what I want you to do. I'm directing it as it's writing. And this was experiment, right? Because it's already had its marching orders. I give 2 paragraphs, you give 2 paragraphs. But then I introduce this entire backstory from a previous chapter and say, base your paragraphs on this. And it did it. So what I just showed you may not seem like a big deal, but I can tell you from using AI in the past that this maneuver right here might have taken, I don't know, 2 or 3 more prompts in the past to get it to say, no, like, I didn't mean this, I meant that, take this backstory, but it just understood the context. And because it's in a project, it was able to just reference what was already there and just give me this output, which was what I wanted. Anma's take on Xena's death, which was viewed through Xena's eyes in the previous chapter, and we still have a little remnant of that Xena recounted. I had to change that, but that's no big deal. But he remembered the day. He had felt so helpless, and we can see it's put it through his eyes now. And we're updating it to now he's actually recalling it with Xena, his daughter. As you can see, we continue this back and forth with, and because I gave it the bullet points, its output is very accurate. Its output is more or less what I want. It's following it. It's getting the plot points, and this is especially good in a chapter like this where there's not a lot of action. It's more plot focused, and we're just kind of, it's just, the dialogue's not really anything super standout. The important part is the plot. That's the issue here. So that's the focus, and this is great for AI because AI, the style part is where it suffers, but when it's just pure information like this, it shines. It's really helpful. So I got about halfway. I don't have a lot of time this morning, so I said, okay, just write the rest of the chapter. And because I gave it the briefs, it did it. But then I saw it was a little thin on the moment when Hiroshi comes back and we find out that he passed his soul trial, the first one in the book to do so. So I wanted to extend that moment, and I'll probably still go back and extend it more, but wanted to get an emotional beat from Xena to react to Hiroshi passing, and that was the end of the chapter. So you can see what this process does. It's really helpful. These projects are just great time savers. They're a great way to organize your writing, and it's just efficiency. Because when you sit down to write, this is one of the hard parts about doing it consistently, is sitting down and getting to the end of a segment. This helps you get there that much faster. So I hope this was helpful. If you're interested in checking out the novel craft secrets, my course that I've created based on all of these updates for this book. You can check out the link either on the page or in the description, wherever this video is going to live. But the whole course is available, and you're going to see something that you probably haven't seen. I've certainly never seen it before, which is someone writing a novel in real time with modern techniques like this. But then also with non-modern techniques. I mean, yesterday I hand wrote an entire chapter and then had to transcribe it. So my creative process is pretty varied, but it's all to not only document my process, but to help you see the ways that you can bring your story together faster and write a better story in order to get it out to the people who need to read it or hear it. So thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next update. Bye.